here, everyone.
It's us.
It's you and you.
Hello.
It's Cynthia and Azalea are here. Look, in my studio on beadshop.com.
We are so delighted. Listen, you guys don't know how good Kate's studio is. It is the stuff of inspiration. It's what we aspire to for our own studio. So,
wow.
It's good, Kate.
It's all love. It's all love.
You guys don't know. It's organized. I've been watching that home edit and like organizing everything. She's already done it like naturally. And then her workflow. I was like, you just have to roll up to a spot and everything you need. You want to set a stone?
It's right over there. Azalea's going to set a stone tomorrow.
You sit down and do it. You don't have to go play seek and find like you do in my studio.
Well, and we're going to talk a little bit about studio stuff and everything. I need to know where to look. I'm looking at you. I'm looking over there. I need to look at you folks out there. Yes, look at this. Let's say, look at Jermaine is saying hi to all of us over here. That's
hey,
awesome.
Jermaine.
And we've got our...
There's a lot of people watching today.
Yes, look at...
Wow.
Oh my God, Azalea. Yay.
Yay,
Lori
Azalea.
Wooten is saying yay for Azalea. Look at those. Look at those earrings she's wearing. So good. Janice is over on YouTube saying hello over there. And she's also reminding all of you to like this broadcast because we want to get so many people watching. It'll be awesome. So we've got Janice doing her thing over there. And I know we'll have Gita doing our thing over on Facebook. We've got Emily saying hello.
Oh, Emily.
So it is great. Oh, and Janice is saying Azalea and Cynthia look like sisters, like the hand commercial.
Oh.
Remember that commercial? It's like, who's the mother? Who's the daughter?
I remember that.
Right?
I love it.
Yeah. That's funny. So, and Creative Powers Activate. Well, it's great to have everybody here today. So what we're going to be doing today, folks, is, let me move this camera back just a little and then I'll move it over. Or is that camera in the, yeah, it is in the way. I can't see that far. We're going to talk color. We're going to talk design. We're going to do all this stuff. So, let's jump in.
Yeah, let's do
I'm
it.
going to put you, Azalea, in like the she's over here.
She's at another command
in the
center.
other command center. So see, you guys get to see a little bit of our studio. So there's Azalea at the command center. Maybe we'll do a studio tour tomorrow.
That sounds fun.
And then you can,
then you guys also can daydream about making your studio as fluid and intuitive as this. Listen, she's got all the beading tools. I don't know if you guys can see this, but everything is at hand.
I don't like to hunt.
I don't either, but
no.
I spend a good majority of my day hunting things.
Well, I do too, actually. So let me tell you how these days are going to run. All right. My mom is saying, I knew that studio when it was a garage. It is true. So the way things are going to run are like this. Cynthia and I are going to have good times today. We're going to talk about color. We're going to talk about design. We have a really cool little kind of like a little game that we're going to do today to show you folks. We also have new product that I'm going to show you that's going to go live after this broadcast. Then tomorrow, Cynthia and I and Azalea are doing a takeover on the Great Bead Extravaganza page, but we're also going to be broadcasting from all of our social channels. Right today, we are on all the social channels. I bet Azalea is going to share it to Green Girl. She was just doing that, right? So you'll find it there. You'll find it on my personal Kate Richburg page, the Beadshop page. We're all over today. But tomorrow with the takeover, Cynthia and I and Azalea are going to put our heads together and we're going to make our schedule. Okay. So tomorrow you'll see us go live throughout the day on all the socials. We like to call it our creative explosion. That's right.
That sounds, some people would be like, I don't know about that. Why is it exploding? The reason it's exploding is because when you have you have even two people, you can have, you bounce ideas off of each other and a lot of new things can come from that. And hopefully while you guys are watching, you can get some of that shrapnel.
That's right. That creative shrapnel. I love it.
Creative shrapnel coming at you.
Oh my gosh,
so,
I love that creative shrapnel.
Sometimes I'm watching and, you get those ideas when you're you're like, Kate's always got good ones when you watch the live. You're like,
When
how come I didn't think of that?
Wow.
And not just on organizing, but on jewelry, every kind of jewelry you can think of.
When you've been doing this 30 years,
you
been
pick
doing
up
this
a thing. You think of
at
it.
least, right? Lori's first time watching. Hello, everyone. So excited to be able to join you for the first time. Lori, welcome. It's great to see you. Great to have you.
There's a ton of comments. We're behind on them.
I know.
Someone
we're
says
so
that your hair looks good. I saw that.
Oh,
It looks real good.
I just got a cut.
It looks great.
Yesterday. My stylist Robert. He's amazing. So if
It
you
suits you.
come to Fresno,
Frames your face great.
go to the
Perfect.
Birdcage Hair Studio in Fresno, California. My friend Robert.
Perfect.
He's amazing. Anyway, enough about me and my hair and your lipstick and my lipstick.
Your lipstick does look good.
So tomorrow we'll put out a schedule later today. It'll be in the Beadshop newsletter as well. I'll give it to Drea. We'll post it. Azalea also did a drawing of something that Cynthia is going to be using today that we're also going to put up for you as a template that you're going to love. So there's all kinds of stuff. So stay tuned to the social, stay tuned to the Beadshop newsletter. It's going to be all times. Joe is asking what time. We're going to figure that out today. We'll probably go live like maybe 3 or 4 times.
Yeah, we'll
during
just
the
depend.
course of tomorrow.
It'll be good. We've been talking about what we're going to do for ever since we found out that we were going to go to the Cure. We were like, okay, we're going to make a list on this creative explosion day.
That's
and
right.
hopefully we can fit it because we have so many ideas.
Yeah,
So
that we're going to do for you.
a lot of fun stuff to
So
tackle. So we have some painting. We're going to paint that clasp.
That's right.
one of the things. And if you've never painted metal, this is a good time to show up for that. Well, not today, but tomorrow.
Tomorrow, exactly. We'll talk a little bit. Maybe we'll even do a metalsmithing edit. Maybe. Who knows? It's all here. Oh, excuse me. Pardon me.
It's easy to get your mind blown with so much creativity happening. It's
It
my
is.
favorite thing is to get together with other artists. And you guys, you're going to have fun tomorrow and today. Have a great time.
Today. So without further ado, let me start with my due diligence here. Bear with me here while I find all of our things. You can find us, of course, on all of our social at beadshop.com on Instagram. If you make anything with our products or our projects, please tag us on Insta so we can add you to our daily stories, as well as join us at the Bead Table, our Facebook group, where we're almost 7,000 beaders strong, which is amazing. And hit that like, subscribe, notification button so you can follow us on YouTube so you never miss any of our amazing content. You can also find all of our products right over on beadshop.com. And friends, I want to tell you, Cynthia's work, you will find, it's there. You can find everything Cynthia over at greengirlstudios.com. Cynthia, you also have your Insta.
I do. Just a word, though. We don't have everything on that website.
Mm-hmm.
And that is because sometimes we like to have, like Kate, she has some things that you're not going to find on my website. You're not going to find the new Poppy Clasp. That's an exclusive for Kate. So if you want that new one, you have to get it from Kate.
Well, that's
so. If you email me and say, "Hey, can I get some of those?" I'm gonna be like, "You have to go over to Kate and get, go to Beadshop.
Go to Beadshop
And get
that's
it there.
right.
Because sometimes that's how it rolls.
That is. That's how it is.
It's
we go to the Cure. We make a clasp. We make art.
Yeah.
We do.
And it was so fun because Kate was like, I said, "Kate, what would you like me to make for you? I will make anything you want. Anything you want. I can carve and wax. It is yours." And she said, without skipping a beat, like she had that in her, like it was like it came to her like that. I want a Poppy Clasp. And so I started drawing out as many different kinds. And I said, what does Kate like? Let's think about it. And I went and looked at all her jewelry, because it turns out there's a ton to look at. If you guys didn't know that, if you go to her Instagram or any of those things, you can see her style. She has a very unique, and I can recognize it.
Well,
I know. I can tell when you've made something.
Well,
not just your color, but you're good at mixing like 5 techniques into one piece.
Well, that is kind of true. Only because I like doing a lot of stuff all the time. So here's the clasp, the aforementioned clasp that Cynthia carved for us, which is so awesome. It's a California poppy. We're going to talk about this more in a little bit. About how to use it. These are all going to launch at noon. Right now it's 10:48 Pacific time. It's going to launch at noon. Don't worry. We have more on order. We ordered a big bunch, but we've got another big bunch. So don't you worry if for some reason it sells out. We'll have more ASAP. We also have dropping this one called Mermaid's Garden. We're going to talk about this bead blend, this bead mix that Cynthia and I put together as well, inspired by Cynthia's favorite colors, as well as friends. What else? There was something else I wanted to put up, but I can't remember. So let's get into it.
Let's do it.
So today, what we're going to do, Cynthia's going to talk about, let me move this out of the way and then we'll bring that. We put our heads together this morning over coffee as we were coffeeing. Oh, and let me zoom out. Sorry. Let me zoom out here. There we go. Look at that. Look, I have the power.
I need that power.
To that zoom. I know.
It's a good power.
There we go. We were talking this morning about, well, what the heck are we going to do on the show, right? Oh, and this is what I was going to tell you, by the way. All of these will be available to watch later. So if you can't make all the lives tomorrow, don't worry. They'll all be archived. I'll make a playlist. We'll put the playlist in the newsletter. We'll do all that. So don't worry. If you're like stressed about, oh, I'm not going to be able to see it or I've got to go or whatever, don't worry. Don't worry. We got you covered. Replay.
It's so good.
Replay's your friend. So let me tell you, as we were having coffee, we're like, what are we going to do? So I read the description about what Drea wrote in the newsletter. So then we were like,
well, let's get on it.
Yeah, we need to get on it. So we're going to talk color. We're going to talk color blending. Now, those of you who are familiar with Cynthia's art, you are the color. You have a mastery of color.
Thank you, Kate.
Well,
it did not come naturally. I actually, in art school, I'm embarrassed to say this, but I got a D. I know, a D. And I could not wrap my head around color theory. I mean, when you first learn about it, they give you this thing, it's called the Munsell color chart. And it's this binder of page after page of colors in order. And they would give you an assignment.
This is making me scared.
And they would say, okay, you need to give us something. They'll say, oh, we need a color palette that scintillates. Now, if you don't know what that means, scintillation is when you have two colors that are the same value and they vibrate.
Oh, I did not know that.
That's what that's called, scintillation. So sometimes when you see bead blends or, when you're making a blend and they seem like they're almost moving, well, they actually have a vibrational, that is what that's called, that vibration of scintillation is when two colors are exactly the same value. And I'm going to show you what that means.
Oh, that's so awesome.
We're going to talk color today.
Well, I think that you have triumphed over that.
I did not learn.
For darn amazing.
Oh, thank you.
Right?
Well, at the time, I didn't understand. And, I was like, these are the ugliest blends I've ever heard. Why are you guys trying to force feed this junk down my throat of this color blend? And what I didn't realize is that the color naturally exists all around you without someone taking the time to make a palette that you have to follow. It exists naturally. If you go outside, you look into a garden, and this is how I learned. I saw these blooms that my mom had planted, and they were brilliant red. And I was like, man, that's a shocking color. It's almost, oh my God, it's like vibrating. And it dawned on me just then that the red was the same value as the leaves. So they were almost, it was like my eyes could not even see it as, shapes aside from like the different petals, because they were like, it's all the colors were so riveting. And so that was when I realized I didn't need a color, or I didn't need color, someone to explain it to me, because it was there in front of me. Like, and you can see it in pansies. You'll have a complementary color scheme with that yellow and purple. It already exists. So.
And that's one of the things that Janice says when she is paletting in her designs and stuff. She always says, like, look to nature.
Exactly.
Right? All greens. Janice that's one of the things she taught me early on. All greens go with all greens.
Exactly. And that's what you'll see when you're looking at, you go out to the garden, you'll see she had roses out there, and they have a kind of a dark green. And underneath that, I don't know what it was exactly, but it was a lighter green. And those two, just looking out there, I thought there's a perfect, right here, already a perfect blend. And it was like a deep purpley red with a darker teal colored leaf, and then a lighter green.
Yeah.
So it was already a perfect blend. But we're going to show you that with this color wheel.
So this is what Cynthia has. So what Cynthia's going to do is she's going to do her color wheel in. You can see she's got her paints here. She's got this great chart that Azalea made this morning, just sitting out on my patio making this chart. we're going to digitize this and we'll put it up in the show notes and everything so you folks can download this chart. We'll have that in and we'll do a link to it and everything. And then I'm going to interpret what Cynthia is doing on the fly with beads.
Yeah, it's almost like Top Chef, but with beads. So, it's going to be fun.
So let's get to it.
All right. So we drew this out.
I'm going to highlight a spot like this. There we go.
So we made this pretty quickly on Procreate. Thank you, Azalea, for your hard work in creating this. I was trying to hand draw, and it turns out making all these things with templates is still kind of challenging. So while that was fun, it was a little bit, it was making me get a little bit crazy. I transferred, I don't know if you can see it, but I used pencil, and this is black watercolor paper.
Yeah.
And it just pops. And I'm going to show you.
I'm going to move this over just a bit so you can. Someone's asking, is Cynthia in California? She is.
I am.
She is in Cali right here.
All day long to get here, and it was a good time.
Right.
So I did this last Sunday, and this is the watercolor paper I was talking about.
Look at how beautiful.
How it kind of pops. And so we're going to get a similar effect here.
And so, Cynthia, a quick question. People want to know what paints. Can you talk about those paints you're using just real quick?
These are, let me get in here so you can see that. This is a palette from the brand, pronounce that cake, because I think I always pronounce it incorrectly.
I don't know, Crandash.
Mm-hmm. That's what Greg said. He was like, you got to lose a few
I don't know.
syllables in there.
I don't know, yeah.
But it's a Swiss brand, and these colors usually are in tube form like this.
Oh.
But they made it into a pressed cake. And I think they're the only brand that has a good gouache paint. And what the difference is between regular watercolor and this is that this is it can be completely opaque if you use it straight. So I'm going to show you now what this looks like.
All right. So Cynthia's got her little setup. You can see she's got her black watercolor paper. She's just got a little thing of water, and I'm going to let her do some color, and then I'm going to start running around and pulling beads.
Yeah, it'll be great.
I've got my running shoes on.
Yes, she does.
I'm ready.
All right. So this is the first one. I'm going to try and get this where it doesn't look like a child did it.
Well, you are a great artiste.
And so when you're mixing this, you want to get a color or a texture that's like heavy cream, and you can get a good opaque layer. This can also be used in translucent layers.
I'm getting a little tighter on you so we can see it.
But see how it pops? That's one of the things too, is if you're photographing a necklace, keep in mind that color theory can be used then. Like if you're going to photograph a necklace, sometimes a perfectly white background might be amazing, but it would pop even more if you put, say, a light gray.
And let me ask you this. Is this, I don't even know how to pronounce this, gouache?
Gouache. It is gouache.
Is it gouache?
Gouache is basically a fancy word for opaque watercolors. And they were originally used to tint and correct photos in the Victorian era. So that was the early Photoshop.
Really?
Mm-hmm. True story.
Wow.
True story.
Janice is also a very she's an amazing watercolorist. I always try and get her to do a few more, some things in watercolor.
That's good. So if you want to make one of these, it's handy to keep on your desk. And if you want to do it on black watercolor like I'm doing, you'll have to trace it. So you could just use that as like a template, and you can do it on any color. Oh,
it looks great. Hey, Azalea, I'm going to have you disconnect from your Wi-Fi just real quick, if that's okay.
Sure.
We're getting a little low on signal. So kids, if the signal It should come back out. We should be okay.
Ooh.
But if we get, there we are.
Sorry, Kate, whatever was in this, I was starting to clean my cup.
It's okay. It was my coffee. It doesn't matter.
Sometimes I have to move over.
There we are. There we go. I do the same thing.
I'll clean that brush.
But when I was set painting, it wasn't watercolor. It was like, it was like whatever toxic paint we were painting the sets with. So you are doing the color wheel here, Cynthia?
This is a standard, what they call the Roy G. Biv palette. So
right.
It's red, orange, yellow. And I'm going to do this really quickly.
So what I'm going to do while Cynthia's doing that, I'm going to pull the color palette, the color wheel in beads.
Oh.
How does that sound? I'm going to do that.
We can mix and match.
Mm-hmm. No, everyone is loving your paints. That's
good.
Awesome. This really looks cool. And I think that the palette, I didn't understand how the black
could make it kind of...
Yeah.
Usually colors will look brighter on white, of course. And I've done several where they are, on different backgrounds and things. But I thought I might experiment and see how it looked on this black. And I love it. I think it looks good. I think it's one of those things that...
it does look cool.
Gives you the feeling of stained glass.
You're going to hear me rustle around, folks. I'm rustling around.
She's picking it out.
She's picking for colors. I don't know. Let's see. I'm rustling. I have a bin of my beads here. So you're going to see a mixture of Beadshop beads, of Kate personal beads. So when you do this at home, and we highly recommend that you do, don't even think. Pretend that we're like breathing down your neck, going, hurry, choose something.
Yeah, it'll be...
Rustle.
Yeah, rustle. It's good. It's good.
Where is...
What are you hunting for, Kate?
Oh, I'm just looking at
She's looking for all kinds of things, aren't you?
My beeps.
Her collection of beads is pretty epic.
It's a little extensive.
And that's, I think, my favorite part.
Right.
I like to have a lot of choice.
I do too. Look at that.
It'll be good. But we'll put, for the ones that you can download, we'll put all the little labels and things so you don't have to guess.
I need some yellow. I'm going to put that as some yellow. I'm going to keep adding to this. Yellow. Oh, shoot. I need some orange. Cynthia, I need orange.
Do you have a good orange?
I do. I've got my favorite orange thing. I'm going to tell you, it's right there. Yes. Yes, girl. Perfect.
You're doing
then,
what'd you find?
These are nice. We don't carry these anymore, but we used to. There we go. And I need some yellow, right?
Yeah.
Yellow. Okay. There's the yellow. That's kind of tan, but it's yellow-y. Now I need to go to green. So see, this is what I've got. I'm going to give you folks a little bit of a peek so far while Cynthia's. See, look, I'm getting
blending.
it. I'm getting this. There's starting with my blend. And I used a black palette like Cynthia did to try and mirror that thing.
So let me just tell you, these are primaries. You'll have three. You have three primaries. Red, yellow, and why am I drawing a blank? Blue, of course. And what that means, and I might have gone a little out of order on this, is that you can't break down red. You can't make a red with anything. You have to have red to make a color wheel. And you have to have yellow. You can't make those colors. And you can't create them out of two colors. It's like the basic element that cannot be broken down any further.
Right.
Like you can with purple is red and blue together. And orange is red and yellow. So the primary is the thing that cannot be broken down any further. So you can make what's a tertiary is when you have the most of one of the primary and a second of another mix. So blue-green would be a tertiary color. I'm going to pop this out a little.
Oh, I've got some blue-green. I've got blue-green right here. There we go.
So this is your tertiary yellow-green.
Oh, yeah, look at that. Okay, look at that. I'm catching up with Cynthia.
Oh, it's looking good.
Right? There we go.
Azalea, can you read us some comments?
I don't have that.
She's
Oh,
drawing.
she's not on there.
She's. I'm looking.
Reminds me of an Amish barn sign. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, it does. They're all talking. So my mom is talking about quilts. Using black backgrounds and quilting really makes the colors pop. Amish quilts often have black backgrounds. It is true. My mom is an amazing quilter.
We just discovered Azalea just got what is that thing called? An AccuQuilt or
What?
punch? It's like a
I have one here. An AccuQuilt Go. My mom has one too.
We didn't know that what that thing was for.
Yeah, to cut fabric.
Such a delight. Such a delight. And so, you know what? I'm mixing, since these are opaque, I'm using a little bit of white. There's a tiny bit on this side.
Oh, here, you can
move that over.
Yeah.
So you can get in and see that.
There's your white.
The white acts like a kind of like background, and it gets the paints even more opaque than they were before. So when I add a little white, you can see how it's like,
There we go. And I'm going to center that back.
Pops that color right out.
Whoops. There we go. Okay. Yeah, look at that. Okay, so I need something. What color would you call that, Cynthia?
I would say it's kind of like a fuchsia almost.
Okay.
Similar to a fuchsia.
Fuchsia. I'm going to use.
Maybe.
Oh, I'm going to use. Look at those super duos. I got that color. Look at that. I got that color.
You do. So it has a nice lustrous quality.
That's right.
I've kind of become really enamored with color.
I'm kind of loving. I'm having a pink moment, which those of you who know me know that that's kind of nutty.
Yeah, that's different for you. I always think of you as like loving a red.
Yeah, I
Red
do love
and a
it.
saturated blue.
Yeah, Montana blue, my favorite.
Yeah, I love that too.
I need something in purples, right? Let me see if I can find some more beads here. I mean, I know I got more beads.
Oh, yes. I can see regular watercolor is transparent, extremely difficult to use traditional watercolor on black. Gouache is opaque and therefore doable. You know, that's, if you were to do, I have some watercolor that's just plain watercolor. You wouldn't be able to see it. And that's one of the things that's kind of a drag about it. But you can't really see some of that.
Let me see.
Pump this up a little.
I'm still rustling around.
She's getting a lot of good things happening over there.
This is what happens when you do it live and you haven't really
You're not.
prepped.
Well, we prepped as much as you can.
Yeah,
You can only prep so hard.
That's right. I'm looking for something that's purple.
Yeah, she's going for a nice purple.
Oh, I'm going to go for this nice yellow here too.
With this paint, you can do several layers. And you can see it doesn't really lift, it builds. Now with watercolor, it's not the same. You don't get that kind of building quality. At first I was like, did I do this right? Because sometimes it can be like you add too many petals and then it doesn't look that good.
There we go. There's some good purple. What's after purple, Cynthia?
Which way? Which direction? You can go kind of like you need a shift between purple and red.
Oh,
So like
I need some more pinks, huh?
you need like a fuchsia maybe.
Well, I've got that one fuchsia. Let me see. Oh, I also have
People
this.
saying, "Where's Azalea?" Azalea's sitting in front of me.
She is. She's right
Sitting
there.
I'm planning some peyote bead work.
Nice. I'll do some thread too. I'm gonna
Your
throw in
thread is a good way to add color.
Yes.
A simple way to add a little extra.
I put this down behind you there.
Okay.
I'm like a mad scientist in the background.
Yeah, you are.
Let's see. Oh yeah, this is good. This right here. Look at that color. Look at that Chinese knotting cord right there, everybody.
I love it.
I love it too. Okay, so what's after fuchsia? What are we transitioning into? A blue. Oh, I've got some dark blue. I'm going to get some more dark blue thread here. Then what happens? What are those last three? So I can anticipate.
You guys, the color is Roy G. Biv. So what I should have done was this should be orange and then gone around.
Ah.
So
well,
I can correct it. It's not a big deal. Except for right here. I went too far, y'all.
Well, it looks amazing.
It'll look good, but it's not exactly correct. And what I'll do is correct it. I went too hastily to orange. So that should have been the orange.
Oh.
But I can fix it, so it's no big.
But you can also use it like this and just sign it right there.
Oh, no, that's the thing about washes. You can keep building of it.
Right.
You can build it up forever.
Right, exactly.
And if you didn't like what you did, you could spray wet workable fixative.
Oh.
So this is where the problem happened. I went too fast.
Right there. Oh, look at how you're just covering that up.
No problem. See, you could not do this with regular standard watercolor because then the purists would say, that is incorrect.
Right. Well, we're not purists around here.
Yeah, me neither. I want to get
yellow.
it to where it works.
I'm going to get some more green. I'm going to get a little more blue.
Yeah, that's better.
Ooh, that's
so nice. I'm just going to shift it all the way down. And that's possible with this. So if you make a mistake, it's easy enough to fix. Or if you were using just standard watercolor on one of these, you just print another one. It's no big deal. Don't get precious with it. Color is a lively thing and should be treated as such.
That's right. Wow, that looks amazing. Look how you just fixed that.
Yeah, no problem.
Right.
I make mistakes on this type of thing all the time. Even though I've been doing it a lot of years, you can still learn something new.
Look at that.
This one is a little bit damp, so I'm going to give it a minute.
Okay, I'm going to move that over. So I'm going to bring my beads over.
Yeah.
While that's going to dry a bit.
Mm-hmm. Then you can actually...
And I'm going to slide this in. And I'm going to get a couple more things.
Oh, those Janice, I love those Daniel Smith Try-Me dots. They're so good. And it's a good way to test out different watercolors.
Oh, I like that story.
Mm-hmm. They have different ones. They have one that's called the Try-Me dot that's granulated colors. I love those particularly because they shift. And have this sort of, they break down a little bit on the page and give you that spontaneous kind of beautiful texture that we love to see in watercolor.
Okay, so I've got a few things here. Okay, so Cynthia, I'm gonna slide you over this way.
Oh, which way?
I'm gonna slide in where you are right here.
Perfect. Oh, do you guys want to see this little mini color wheel?
Oh yeah, I like that mini color wheel. Look how cute that is.
Isn't that cute? It's a pin. I got this from Gray Muse, and I put it on. It was on my backpack, but it kept falling off. So
it's really
see
cool.
How it has. I can't read that, but I think that says. What's that say, Kate? I can't read it.
It says triadic colors.
So if
complementary colors.
Complementary is
analogous.
Yeah. Analogous is all together.
Right, that and complementary. All right.
And
it's really cool.
That is neat.
All right, so I'm going to, do you want your stool?
No, I don't need it.
Okay, you're good. I'm going to move this camera over here. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about my bead blend here that I did. And one of the things, so before I get to this, let me pull out that mix that we did. That board is kind of not as pretty as I want it to be. Let me do this. And then I'm going to go to that. So one of the ways when I'm pulling a bead palette, this is the Mermaid's Garden mix that I pulled together from Cynthia's colors. Pardon my reach as I reach over you and grab some triangles. So here are the little triangles here. Let me pour this out. So when I was trying to interpret one of Cynthia's, and you could see there's a little bit of a mermaid painting from Cynthia right on there. Mermaid's Garden. When I thought, what are colors that that say Cynthia Thornton to me? So I pulled those out. Now, let me see if I can find this. Give me just a second. I'm going to see if I can find the page where I started to pull the beads. Bear with me here just a moment as you look at that. I can find it. It's back here. Keep talking amongst yourselves.
Yeah.
So
What are people saying, Kate?
I'll go back and I'll check that in 1 second. Where did I put Cynthia's? Oh, you know what? I bet it's over here. Special mixes. I tried to do 2 colors. Oh yeah, here it is. Bear with me here just a second. I'm going to make a quick, page so you folks can see this here. And this one. When I did this color blend, this bead blend that I did here, I started with 1 color, and you'll see this in just a second when I get this on the screen. I started with 1 color that I liked, that kind of said Cynthia, that kind of said Mermaid, that kind of said, I think you folks will like it. All of those things, right, that I was trying to interpret into this. And so then, let me get this a little closer. This kind of looks right here. And let me go ahead and screenshot this, and I'm going to put this up. Okay. This is going to be right coming. Let's see. Whoops, desktop. And there it is. Okay. So the color I started with first, it's coming, it's uploading. There it is. So the color I started with first, and I'm going to scoot this over, is this top row right here. I pulled that blue. And then I came in, and you can see the blend kind of there. Then I pulled 1 color, like the colors over here. Let me get my finger in there. Over here on the left first, right? So I did a blue, I kind of did a blue-green, I did a purple, and then I kind of did a pink. And then I was trying to put other colors in, and it was getting muddy. So all I did was I added these colors on this side. So it was just a variation of the blue, a variation of that teal, a variation of the purple, and a variation of the pink. So there are 8 colors in this blend. So if you're not really sure, if you're starting to kind of do your own bead blends or doing your own bead mixes, start with like 1 color that you like and start to build the bridge to it, if that makes sense. Does that make sense? So let me move this out of the way. Whoops, as I hit that, and let me move this thing out of the way. Comments over here. And then Azalea, do you want to look at some of these? Do you want to come around and shout out some of these comments? I hope that our connection is still strong. They're right there, and they'll just keep coming, or down here. You can.
Thank you.
That'll do it. But let me show you if anything pops out at you, Azalea. So here's the beads that I pulled for this blend to kind of go with what Cynthia's painting. So I tried to do the color wheel. So I started with some purple. And you know, when I choose my beads, and this is so on the fly. This has I have no
We're going to get
idea, of what I would even do with this. But I pulled some purples right here. I started pulling some, this is what I had in the pink tones.
I like that mix.
Right? It looks good, doesn't it? This kind of pink business. Look at this. And these are all Beadshop. This is that dark rose silver lined alabaster. I used a super duo. I used this raspberry. I love this color. Look at that color.
It is a rich color.
Isn't it? And this one's in my temperature project. This one, the 4469. Then I went a little lighter. This was from a flash sale that we did after Tucson. These, right, those kind of
Moonstone
with that coating, that mystic coating.
Is that salmon agate right there?
Which one?
Yeah, that one.
This one is carnelian.
Oh, that looks cool. I got something similar to that.
Right? And for my favorite carnelian thing, and going into the oranges, look at that carnelian disc.
Oh.
Right? Then I went into some yellow. This was from a flash sale. We have this right now, these yellowy kind of Philippine wood. This is an English cut right here. So some of this we still have, some of it's old Beadshop. This is the light topaz AB, making that transition into the greens. Folks, this is something from my personal collection. Cynthia, look at these peridot.
Oh,
look.
Peridot's my favorite.
Isn't this juicy?
So good.
This is when I had my bead shop in San Francisco. This is old school.
Wonderful bead
It was
shop.
It was fun. These are from before you were born, Azalea, I think. The
Those
trays
are
were
crazy
good.
awesome.
Look at
It
that.
was like a bar you could
depth.
slide up.
It was
and
good
shift
times.
your lunch tray to get all the stuff you needed.
That's right. We had our little trays. We had those at Beadshop too, our little muffin tins. It was so fun. I used that lacquer. Let me get the lacquer fan because we're going to be launching that. Some lapis. You folks remember these ovals. So I've just laid them out in kind of a, let me straighten this out, in kind of a good color array.
Whitney Studio says that is quality peridot. I agree. Those are nice and chunky. That's my birthstone, my favorite. And Carrie says, Cynthia, whose little color wheel pin did you show and say
It's
that
from
was?
Gray Muse. That's the brand that makes it. Let me see if it's on the back written on there. The Gray Muse. And they have an Instagram and they have a ton of other pins.
Oh,
but that's my
really
favorite.
cool. Let me show you. So here's that lacquer fan that we're going to be launching soon. So take a look for this. And this is one of the new beads that we're launching with the monthly mix next month. It's the 2604. Look at how dreamy that goes in there.
Oh, beauty.
Right? So let me, I'm going to grab a couple more things and then I'm going to start to try and assemble this. Cynthia, do you want to move your color palette back in and talk a little bit about the colors you made there? And then I'll try and put this together, just lay it out as a necklace.
Okay. I'm going to get in here.
All right. Yeah, switch that. Move my tray over so it's not in your way.
Janice asks, Graham Muse, is that what you said, Cynthia? I think she said
Gray Muse.
the Gray Muse, like gray, the color, I think.
Yes. The Gray Muse.
Or the shade, I guess, not color.
So you can see I fixed that, but they're still a little wet. If I had my hair dryer, I would dry those
Yeah, I
a
have a
little
hair dryer
faster.
somewhere. I have a heat gun.
Oh, I'll do it.
You want it?
Sure. Get it, Azalea.
Get it.
Get it, girl.
I got a heat gun right here because you never know when you're going to need a heat gun.
You never know.
I've got 3 of them. We can all use a heat gun.
And did you guys notice how fast she found that?
Well,
That was good times.
it's
Real good times. So you remember I had gone too hastily in my arrangement and I was talking, so my brain was not activated, and I painted this one yellow. but it's not the correct transition. So I'm laying this yellow on top of the green, and it's still a little wet. So if I tried to go over it now, it would just make more of that yellow green. And this would be a true yellow. Where's that? Oh, here it is. So this is a heat gun, or what they call like an embossing gun. It only has the one setting. They make these to peel paint. That's originally the use for a heat gun. And I'm going to dry these colors, and you can see where they're kind of shiny there. That's showing it's wet. And I use a heat gun with acrylics. And the trick to this, if you want it to go fast, is not to leave it in one spot, because it'll set your paper on fire. It's that hot.
Right.
So don't burn your paper. Keep it moving. And look how fast it dries. You can see when the shiny parts are gone, that means the paint or the water has evaporated from it. And I could actually go in and make some of these tertiary colors a little bit more dynamic or more saturated. This one I just kind of laid in there quickly. Oh, Tim Holtz or Ranger heated tool. Yeah, that's similar to what this is.
Gwen asks what day my birthday is because their birthstone is also peridot. Mine is August 28th.
Oh yeah, that's my mom. My mom's is the 23rd.
Oh. Janice asks, Kate, do you have the color wheel handy that Cynthia painted when last she was with you?
I do. I believe so. Somewhere. I think I put it somewhere very safe.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's here. Right here.
It's cute.
Remember
back in the
Cynthia?
day. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
When did we
That's
do that?
nice.
Like a while ago.
It was pre-pandemic, that's for sure.
Can you give me some fresh water? Look at what my water turned into. Mud.
Ew.
That's because these are opaque. You get
Yeah.
a prettier color of watercolor water if you just did,
Oh my goodness, look at that.
Yeah,
Look at how you...
Yes, I could fix. I'm going to go over this with one more layer of true yellow so I could cover up the green. I
Right.
don't want that green popping.
Wow. Look
So
at that.
these are all the colors. When you have the Roy G. Biv lineup, red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet. And
Wow.
then your other colors, I'm going to make these blends more like that. That's the blend that you would actually get that color, because you wouldn't get this color mixing these two. So I'm going to add a little more white to them to get exactly the shift. But you can kind of get the idea. Isn't that cute? Kate has this little cup, or it's a bottle.
It's from Emily. Emily gave me that.
Oh.
Of course,
Thank
because
you, Emily.
you know
It's
how
perfect
Emily
for this project.
always has interesting things.
Yes, she does.
So I'm going to shift you over, and I am going to...
We're going to use this, right?
Yeah.
Let's do this. Look at this. You guys are going to love this.
Yeah. Look at that.
Mm-hmm.
So let me lift this up a bit.
Mm-hmm.
Look how
Mhm.
good that is.
So I'm going to lift this, and let's move... Do you want to move your paint? I'm going to put
I'll
this
move
over
that.
here.
Okay. This could be tight. This could be more perfect. So I'm going to go over.
Well...
But I don't want to spend all day perfecting my color palette for you guys to look at.
And that heat gun.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Let me zoom out again. So this is kind of a fun way to make sense of the beads that you have, right? And you can see, Cynthia, where we are with this.
I like it.
I'm going to push this up just a little and push that up just a little bit. There we go.
Oh, good. You backed out a little.
I did. And we also have look at this one. Look at that color.
I love it.
I don't know where that goes. Maybe it goes there. So so you were talking about adding white to this or to lighten things up.
Yeah.
When do you use white in your designs?
Sometimes I do. And I use the white in terms of, say, silver. Or it's kind of like using, like the thread would be a lighter color. Or let's see, this one could go in here.
Let me pull some thread too.
Yeah, we need a pink.
You need a pink. You want a pink,
nice
thread?
Pink. A pinkish color.
Here's this one.
Good, good.
Do you like that?
I do. We'll move it like this so
do you like this one?
Oh, that's even better.
I thought you might
be in this.
Here. This is all Chinese knotting cord that I'm handing Cynthia. One of the things that I've been thinking about, look at this one. I've been thinking about the clasp. Okay, the clasp that Cynthia made and how to connect it. So I'm going to show you folks actually how I would connect it with Chinese knotting cord. I think it'll be perfect for that. Look at how beautiful this looks. Can you even stand it?
Just going to try and get that centered.
There we go. You can always move that a little bit too.
Okay. Yeah, this is going to be fun. Or it is already fun.
Yeah.
What am I saying? I'm already having the time of my life. So.
Right? Because I think what we could do is I could translate. So next, we're not going to do it today. We might work on it a bit today. All of this, it would be great to do a color shift necklace that shifts from, kind of like I did. Folks, you remember when we had these delicious, what I called cobblestone beads? And I did that color shift with it, and I kind of went that way. This will be kind of similar, but in a much bigger way. There's more over here, Cynthia, too, that I didn't put in. Look at those little flowers.
We need more orange.
More orange. There's that. Let me give you, we need more orange. How about Russell?
Oh, I see something that's orange in here.
Oh yeah, take it out. Yes, those are coming up. Those,
Oh yeah, everyone loves a rainbow.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a rainbow?
right?
Oh, Cherie says, go over with white, then yellow, wonder I. Yes. What I'll probably do is mix in like yellow and white and then go over this, and then it'll be pure.
There's some exactly. That's not really orange, but
it has the flavor.
Does it?
Yeah, I think this is pretty.
So-
I think we've got it. Don't you think?
So let me show you. So will you put some, I'm going to hand you some metals.
Perfect.
Would you put metal in where you think the metal goes in the wheel?
Done and done.
Here's this. And here is this. And here's some chain.
Yeah.
Oh, look at this. Here's some chain.
Beauty.
Here's some of our
From
new
the
chain.
conceptual into reality. Correct.
Oh, my mom's saying orange padres. I don't know if I have any orange padres. Here. But I know we have some on the site. Okay,
All right,
look
let's talk about it. Let's
at
get
that.
in there and talk about that.
And I'm gonna screenshot this sucker.
Let me get that centered for you. Is that centered?
And I can zoom out too. Let me zoom out a little
How
bit.
pretty is that?
Very. Let me zoom.
Which the set that? Yeah, that looks good.
There we go. Look at that. Some true yellow. I know it needs a little.
we need a true yellow.
We do.
Because this is a little yellow green.
It's a little muddy.
It's a little yellow green. But that peridot
Well,
is
what about-
exactly. Yeah, that's pretty. Perfect. There we go.
Is that better?
Yeah,
I'm
a
still
true
looking.
yellow. Orange seed beads, a true orange. These
Okay.
are a saturated orange. This
I have this
here.
brick.
The brick I would put in between the true orange.
Can you hear me, Russell?
A lot of wrestling. Amazing, says Patricia.
Look at that color.
Oh, I love that one too. Let's get in there.
Get in there. Get
Get in
after it.
there.
Let me see if. Oh, well. Hold the phone. Hang on.
Let me get a palette to show, to demonstrate. So you guys have probably noticed this already, but if you haven't, kind of take a moment to see that this side is all warms and this side is cool. And so you have a half, like you're on each side of the color wheel, you have cool and warm, and that can play into your design. So you can use that as part of your, when you're designing a piece and balance those together. One of the things I like to do, and this is one that I've found is a key to making if you want something that's like no fail and will always look good, line up 3 in any direction on the color wheel. And so that's a simple one. So all these look pretty together, or all these will always look good together. Sometimes it can be challenging when you want to get wild and you're like, I want to just do my own thing. That can work. And sometimes when you see that and you're like, what is wrong with this picture? Why doesn't it seem like it's working? Sometimes if you go like too strange, like mixing, like to me, I think it's a little strange to get a true yellow and a little bit of, this area in here can be a little weird, especially if you then mix another, like on the opposite side. So if you were like red, blue, yellow, or yellow, orange, kind of can give you kind of a weird muddy quality.
Look at those.
Oh, yes,
look at
this
that.
is good. This is real orange.
And then
Nice.
any more reds? That's a brighter red. Here's a super bright yellow.
Mm-hmm. Whitney says, color temperature is all relative. Depends on what is next door. Yeah, I mean, your blue is going to always seem, unless you add something to it, it's going to seem like a cool. It's always, it's blue, so it's going to be cool. How good and yellow that is. It's a saturated yellow.
I want,
Let's see what else is happening here.
where did I put my bin? No, that's not it.
Yeah, she says reds. The red is a little on the skimpy side. What's this red? Oh, that's the tag of something.
Yeah, that's the tag. Hang on, hold the phone. I'm looking for the bin that I just had here a second ago. I can find it. Oh, here it is. Hold the phone.
No, I'm not here. Right there. There's some red right there.
Oh yeah. These are good.
Yeah, that's a really bright red.
There's that one. And here's some. These are from our
There we go.
past flash sales. Here's another one.
Oh, Cindy says, I love adding a touch of turquoise to my jewelry. I do too. I love it.
Yeah,
That would be this from a.
Do you need any more red? I don't know if you do or not.
Yeah. So we have, I think, a complete color wheel here of
goodness.
different beads. You've been running around like mad back there. You guys can't see it, but she's been all up and down, side to side, looking for every different color. So I believe we have it.
That looks amazing. I do. And we're going to, I'm going to screenshot this here. Look at that. There we are.
Perfect.
So we have it. Okay, I am out of breath. I'm totally out of breath because I've been running around. So now, where do you go from here? Right?
Yeah, I would say you can't go wrong with 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So 1, 2, 3, you could go these 3, these 3, or even like this.
Right?
And they will always look good together. Complementary is when you go opposite day on the color wheel. Now, this isn't perfectly opposite. I would have to aim those. It would be like red and green are opposites, yellow and purple are opposites, blue and orange are opposite. And those can look good, but they tend to give off like sports teams vibes.
Right, a little bit, huh? A little bit. So so that palette that's next to you, just that blank tray.
So let's look at that. So we're talking about, we're going to talk about complementary. These are the purple.
While you do that, I'm going to take the clasp and I want to show everybody how I'm going to connect it.
So when you look at this is your purples. These are complementary colors. But to me, I feel like it's a little bit of a gap. And it could look good. These can absolutely look good together. But to me, I don't find them as harmonious until I add a secondary color to bring it all together. Right. Wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
that you could do that?
That's right.
Now, if you were to do something like that, you want to bring it all together to make it work a little more. You're hung on this.
I am. There we go. If you need any of these, they're just right there.
So even here, you can see there's a little bit of a complementary color scheme going, just slightly, because that brass acts like a yellow. So this would be considered a very slight, because that's a purplish tone. It's not a true purple, but that would be considered complementary, at least to me.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so this is one, and you guys have seen, of course, red and green. That's very a traditional blend.
Yeah, so put those back in the color wheel and make another.
We'll do another one. I will do that.
Buy me a little time.
This one here.
Vamp.
And I'll show you one more blend. So these are laying true on this. Let me get that orange in there. So together.
Am I in your way over here?
Nope. You're fine.
I love those pinks you picked out.
Yeah, aren't those pretty?
So
yeah, look at that.
These are laying together on the color wheel. Orange and red. I probably wouldn't put this acid yellow in, but you can see that kind of works. Yeah, vibrant colors help the muddy colors. Yes. Analogous. Thank you. Analogous is next to each other. That's true.
So what's the third color, Cynthia, that you would introduce into that group?
Well, I have red, and then this isn't a true orange, but here's a true orange.
Would you add something then, a complementary from across the?
That I would probably, if I were to do that, I would eliminate one.
Mm-hmm.
So let's look at that. And if you're going to eliminate one, so this is all three.
All right, I see. So you have the orange. I was kind of missing the orange there.
Yeah, the orange. We don't have a complete true orange, but you can see how these are kind of pretty together. Mary says, an artist told me that a touch of yellow makes other colors come out. It can. It can. That yellow can be gold. So in the terms of beading, this would count as a yellow, your metals. Mm-hmm. And in fact, that is true. So if you think about when you've added a little touch of like a gold bead to make the other beads pop, that's correct. It will do that.
I love this color wheel. I'm never putting this away. I just want to like put it on my wall.
Okay, so here's one of my favorites and like one of my all-time favorites. Let me show you.
So where does, I'm going to put the lid on this, if I can find the lid, on our bead mix.
What lid? Oh, I see what you mean.
Where would this
fit? There's a lid down.
I've got a lid. I've got like a million lids. I just have to grab one.
Now, a lot of times when you're looking at color blends, you're like, okay, so this is too much. Like it's way too much. So this would be one that I love. And this is kind of a green, blue, and red. So I alter the amounts of some things. So I like a blue-green with pops of red. And I think those work really pretty today. Really beautiful. Joe said, and coral would work in there as well. I would agree with that.
Here you go.
Definitely. Turquoise is such a neutral, and it's great with purple and yellow. It is. Teal plays well with so many colors. Yes,
there's our bead blend.
And so you can see what Kate did in this blend. She has a natural blend here of blue and a purple and a kind of a peachy color. So that would act as a similar. Let's get that color in here. So this is her palette.
And remember, folks, that mix, the Cynthia Kate mix, is launching at noon. We'll be on here for about 10 more minutes or so. And then we'll let you folks go. But we'll be back.
Yeah, we'd love to see some color blends that y'all are making.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you like to post those on your, do you like to
on the bead
hashtag?
table. And then
Or on
Cynthia,
the bead table.
you have a group too, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Why don't
Azalea
you
and
mention that?
we just started a group called the Green Girl Studios Gang on Facebook. And you post things that you've made with products from our website and, shows and things. So if you'd like to join that, we usually do. Sometimes I pick, it's new, so we're still working our way through it. But it's a fun place. We just did a giveaway, or not a giveaway, we did a contest.
A contest, right, the bunny contest.
And it was a lot of fun.
It was fun.
A ton of fun.
Look at that. Amazing.
All right, so let's talk about another blend that you guys, what colors do you think,
people are saying, Anne's saying, do you think teal works well because we see it in nature every day?
Probably.
Yeah.
I think it's possible. And so say you want a complementary color and you're looking at your beads and you're like, oh, this is kind of muddy. You can use the secondary colors here. Like, I love these two together.
I do too.
This pink and teal, to me. Let me get that black so there's no distraction around it.
Oh yeah, look at that.
I think it works. And it works because this is not an unusual color you'd see in nature.
Mm-hmm.
It's not crazy to think of a pink flower and dark green leaves. I mean, how many times have we seen that?
Mm-hmm.
A million times. And then if you added, so...
You know what my favorite bead?
I'm going to look at this with purple.
Right.
So if you're making a palette, think of like flowers that you like.
Look at that.
And so then...
Sydney.
So we're getting... This palette is like, this is like your highlight. Think of it like that too. Just like in a painting, you would pop in some highlights. This is a similar. So you'd even go in with maybe another kind of, even a deeper pink. Let's see what that looks like.
Yeah, that's pretty. Look at these.
So I feel like you can't really go wrong if you're inspired by a natural, like a flower, or if you think of like landscape. When you think of, say, like the Arizona Tucson sun, like that kind of palette. And someone mentioned coral earlier. So let's talk about that. That's
just FYI, someone asked real quick, this pink is, I'll tell you, it is the 8-645 dyed dark rose silver lined alabaster. That's what that is. Just so you know.
So let's talk about that. You're going to go a landscape. Mm-hmm. And Tucson has a very distinct color palette. I would say, let's put those in there.
So
beauty.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there you go.
I would match, if you were to do a Tucson, when you think about like that kind of like background, the first thing I think of is that sky, that big blue sky. What color would you think when you think of that landscape, Kate?
I think of, and it's not really in here, and I was going to ask you about that. Like, where does something like brown or sand or does that come in?
They're warm, and depending if you're look at it on a gray thing. So sometimes black.
Do you want the gray pad? There's one right here.
Okay,
it's not super clean, but it's a little dusty like Tucson.
Just like Tucson, just like it. So I would mix in there, wouldn't you say, like...
That's from my Tucson box.
Perfect.
From earlier this year.
And that's kind of like the mountainish colors.
Right, exactly.
Would you say? A little bit of a dusty, darky color, greenish color.
Yeah, look
at
that.
And already, you see you're starting to get like a nice looking blend.
And you had the sky. I loved your sky. Look at your sky in there. Don't forget about your sky.
And then as you look at it, think about
this is a good
what
one
other
too.
color you would put in with that. And so this is an example of like these are complete, like they have a little bit of contrast, but they work together. You have the land and then you have the sky. So you could even bring in
that's an amazing palette right there.
It's a pretty palette. So think of that when you're out and about, and I do this all the time. I'll take pictures. My phone is like riddled with like a piece of a sidewalk where there is a like graffiti and a flower growing in.
Right.
And suddenly I'm like, oh my God, that's a great color palette. So you don't have to go, I mean, it doesn't have to be traditional like, oh, I'm going to make a complementary color. So they're going to be opposites, red and green. Think you can go that core, like almost like as if this were, what would this be if this were a stone? Like a, not ruby, but
Yeah,
ruby would be more in here. 'Cause
Right.
It's a cool red.
That would be like a
here.
red jade, maybe. Or
like a red jade or coral.
Coral,
Look at a coral.
yeah.
That's kind of a.
That's those old African.
But look how good these two look together. This
Right.
would be like people would say, is that too Christmassy? Let me get this. And I would say no, because the shade of that green
Right,
is
right,
more,
exactly.
it leans more on the turquoise spectrum.
Right.
And so say we want to pop that a little bit, and I don't know, I don't remember who said yellow makes everything look a little more extra. But
Yeah.
they're not wrong.
No.
Look at that.
Beautiful.
Yeah. Red cinnabar.
So pretty. Yeah, red cinnabar would be great. So Cynthia, I want to show them how I'm going to use your clasp.
Oh.
And
yes.
I'm finally at a place where I'm just going to set it right on top of here.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to come in tight. Whoops. Sorry. Let me get here a little tighter. So here's that poppy clasp. Okay. And the way that Cynthia carved this, it's a front and a back. Isn't that pretty? And it has the flower and the leaf. Those of you who were on the bead table yesterday know that I put new batteries in my caliper, which was like such an adult move.
Mm-hmm. You know, I had calipers, and the little notches were so small, I couldn't actually read.
Right. Well, I'll get you one of these because this is a lifesaver. So Cynthia's clasp size, and it's on the website, but it's about 25 millimeters, which is about an inch long. Little bit wider, about 26 and a half here. Then this hole where the toggle goes, it's almost 5.5 millimeters. This hole here, a little over 1.5, and then the toggle bar, little over 21.5 by about 5, maybe that is. Yeah, 5.5.
Oh, that's nice.
And,
I want to get one of those.
Yeah, don't worry.
Oh, what's that?
It's done. And see, that's how you measure the inside diameter using that side.
Perfect.
So it's a little over 2 millimeter. So the way that this connects is, you can use this a couple of ways. You can use this in the front, attach your strand this way to this loop right here, and then have your necklace come all the way around and then attach to that loop there and have it go through like this. So what I did was I came in and I did some macrame here. Okay. And so if I were going to attach this piece to that, what I would do, and I made kind of a long length so you could see it. Let me zoom in just a touch more. But you could wire wrap with this. I've got a wire wrap idea with some of the new stuff that we're going to be adding. So I can come in with my Chinese knotting cord. This is 0.5 millimeter maybe, or 0.8 millimeter, one of those. I think it's 0.5 is what this is. See, so I'll come around, and actually I think I did that on the wrong side. Sorry. Let me do it on this side.
It looks good though. That little piece of macrame.
Right? Let me do it on this side. Sorry, I did it. That's why I had this connected. Let me see if I can get it in there. Because who's in charge? I got so excited by the color wheel that I couldn't.
It is exciting. Color wheels are always
Put
exciting.
a piece of soft flex or some sort of wire to
Right.
through the
Use the needle. That's terribly clever. Let me do that. That's medium.
You know, I had a kit. I don't know if you remember this. When Sheila and I developed, we actually taught a class on that ribbon necklace years ago.
That was like
The secret ingredient was a piece of fishing line.
right. I've got fishing line here somewhere, and I also have. Where are my wire
secret
cutters?
ingredient.
Hold the phone, folks. Hold the phone.
She's got to do some more digging.
I do.
I know. I want to like get back. I want to go over some of these colors and make them perfect. And we'll show a picture after.
Yeah, we'll show a picture and we'll make a little downloadable item for you folks as
with
well.
Labels. So.
Yeah, with labels and stuff. So here we go. For with Azalea's idea, putting the soft flex through there. Look, now that becomes a needle. And look at how that pulls through. Terribly clever.
It's my girl. She's smart.
She's a smarty pants. So now I'm going to come back, and I wanted like a big loop here for some reason. I don't know. Your loop could also be shorter. But I'm going to come through. I'm going to place this through like that. And now I'm going to put these strands through here. There's one. I'm going to side cut this. I can also, you can use your Zap glue. You know how I do to make those needles that are stiff on the ends. Why don't I have, where is everything? We've made such a mess in this studio.
We did.
But I like that story. I'm just going to side cut this with big, terrible wire cutters here.
I like that chain.
That's going to be a new chain offering in our world.
Beautiful.
You know,
it's like
I
a
just bring
more
this
geometric paper clip.
You know, I don't even need to bring this through. Let me show you. There we go. See how this is in the back? You can now. Then what I'm going to do, let me get another piece. Where's that little...
Can this be moved over so I can read the comments?
Yeah. Here, let me get rid of that. There you go. What are people saying?
Oh, we said... Terry says, well, that is a time saver. Great idea with the soft flicks. Bonnie says she can hear Azalea. She's in the front table watching us.
Watching us. Here's this. So I'm going to clip this on.
The clip. Lifesaver clip.
I love these clips. I'm going to clip this down.
And the clasp is two-sided. Listen, y'all. I know how clasps can flip, and I hate it when mine flip and then show a boring back. So I made that one with a little bit of a texture.
Yeah, two-sided love.
Right? So if it does flip, it doesn't look horrendous.
There we go. Let me pan out just a little bit so you folks can see how I've got this on the board. Okay. Ooh, everything's going to launch very shortly, but there's plenty. So don't worry. So see how I've got my macrame back here. Okay. And I'm just going to come in. I put my base strand here. I'm going to do more with this. I'll show you a little bit more of this tomorrow. But I'm just going to come in and I'm actually, I can just go ahead and macrame down over this. But I think what I want to do, well, maybe I'll capture it both. I don't know.
Melanie says the poppy clasp will just have to be positioned at the front of the necklace, don't you think? Couldn't possibly hide in the back.
Yeah, well, unless you have short hair like I do.
Well, you know what? I have this thing where I don't mind my clasps rotating around my neck.
I don't either.
And I design them so that they can be anywhere on your neck. And I like to make it where there's no front or back.
Yeah.
But that's just me. And I like it to be so that you can, if you have a different color, you can just shift it to your outfit. But I usually make bead or necklaces that are weighted in such a way where they could easily travel.
Right, around.
Kind of like a mala, but shorter. Maybe, I guess it would be considered a half mala. I've been really into those lately. I noticed some of the clasps that I had made before were pretty good, but I'm one of those types of people that if I can make another one and make it a little bit better, I'm going to do it. So.
Right. Well, I agree with that. Let's put this through. And I'm just going to tie a knot here so you can kind of see what this might look like.
Janice says, to have it be the centerpiece, I would dangle the pearl from the hole that Katie's using for the the CKC. I don't know if I would use the toggle leaf. Yeah, see, you could save the toggle for something else.
Right, and see, but look at how, so here's the back. I've just done the macrame.
Yeah, and the back looks
right there.
If you preferred the back, or if it flipped, it looks still
But see how
nice.
that just nestles.
Yeah, I
right
designed
in
it to
there.
do that. Perfect.
Yeah, it's gorgeous. I love it so much. So we're going to play around with this a little bit more. So folks, it is almost noon. I'm going to come over here, Cynthia, on this side of you. And I'm going to put us on here too. There we go. So
you could make it like a lariat, don't you think?
Oh, it would be great as a
lariat. So look at it as a lariat. So say this is in the front and you don't want to use the bar. You can save the bar for a bracelet clasp that's just this.
Right.
And you do like a seed bead.
A seed bead loop or whatever. A seed bead loop,
say.
Like that.
I would use something a little smaller.
Right.
Like these or this.
Yeah. Right. Wouldn't that be pretty?
And so you get that action, or even smaller. You could go smaller.
You can see right here, you're down a little bit.
I see. And then this could easily be
right,
a lariat. And then you would put a stopper in that part and have it dangle. You could easily do like...
Right, it would just go through.
And it could be the clasp, or you could put, it could work double duty.
You could do a drop.
So the clasp could actually come through here, and then you could hang things from this spot.
Right.
So that was my initial thinking, was that this space was a little shorter so that you could easily,
right,
if you wanted to do
cascading from there.
I like to do things where there's loops made from seed beads, and you could do the same effect where it comes through here and there's loops.
Oh, that would be so pretty.
Let me see if
to just dangle.
Yeah, a dangle.
So this one, Sharon asked about the macrame. I did. I macrameed up, I went through, and then I macrameed over the macrame right here to go down. So you could do that. I think I'm going to use this in a piece so you folks can see it, but it really has a lot of possibilities for creative expression for that. So folks, I'm going to tell you that I believe I'm going to check real quick on our, I think it's live. It is. So the clasps and the mix are live on, I don't know where the mix went. Well, here, I'll put it right here. They're live on the site. So we're going to let you go so you can maneuver, and we're right here.
Oh,
there we are. There we are. So Cynthia and I will be back. We'll be back tomorrow for our Great Bead Extravaganza takeover.
It'll be fun.
We're going to put a schedule up so you folks will know what's happening, what's going on. And of course, you can always find everything beadshop.com related on our socials at beadshop.com on Instagram, on Facebook at The Bead Table, and hit that like, subscribe, and notification button right on beadshop.com. And do not forget, folks, you can visit Cynthia at greengirlstudios.com. She has her, the Green Girl Gang.
The Green Girl Studios
Gang over on Facebook. And you also have a YouTube channel.
We have a YouTube channel. We're going to post more videos on how to do, different types of techniques. But you know what? The video editing is like the hardest part. So,
well, it's not. It's getting easier, though. Thankfully,
for sure, it's getting easier. Oh, should people, if you guys want to share videos, you can kind of expand our reach.
Yes,
and it's a fun way to help spread the word. And if you like a video, share them to your friends. You never know who might not have heard, and all that does is expands and keeps the circle growing, and then that means that there's more opportunity to make more things. You have a little more power, I guess. You have more, you can
more reach, and without you folks out there helping us do what we love, we wouldn't be able to bring you this amazing content. So thank you so much for supporting our small businesses, for supporting these videos by sharing. And the bead mix is called Mermaid's Garden. They're both on the homepage or in the new arrivals section on beadshop.com right now. So The clasp will always have, the bead mix is limited. So when it sells out, it sells out. So we're going to let you go. Christine already did her shopping. She's all, I got mine. Thank you. I'm out. So thank you folks. And it's in the Just In collection. Cynthia and I will be back tomorrow with our Great Bead Extravaganza takeover on all of the social that you're watching us now. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kate, for hosting us.
Wow.
Azalea was like,
amazing.
This, even though we're working, is like, it feels so good. Her home has a very welcoming, beautiful quality to it. It's just so comfortable and delightful.
Come visit.
Yeah,
all y'all. Come visit. We're here working. All right, friends. We'll see you tomorrow with more takeover fun. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
All right. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.